everyone, and welcome to Club2, Episode 2 of Relegation Rescue at Sparta Rotterdam. So, we haven't kicked a competitive ball yet, but it's already proving a little bit tricky, to be honest. It took me absolutely ages to figure out what I wanted to do with this team, what sort of formation, structure of style of play, which players to keep, which players to get rid of, all sorts of stuff. It's been really, really challenging. And that's before, as I say, we've even had our first competitive game. But I have made some decisions. Whether they're the right decisions or not, only time will tell. But the first thing to talk about is this formation. And the formation then dictated what I wanted to do in the transfer window. So I decided that whatever they were doing before wasn't working. They are 10 points behind safety in the league. And they were playing a 4-2-3-1 and it just wasn't working. So I thought, well, let's throw it all out the window and come back with something a bit different. So we've gone 3 at the back. We're going to play wing backs, a central midfield 3 with a holding player and 2 strikers up top. And we're going to go for, at the moment, a custom route 1. We'll look at that a little bit more detail in a second. But that's the basics that I decided to go for. And that then really shaped what I then did in terms of the transfer window. So out went the likes of Faye. I'm not going to talk much about these players. You can look for yourselves. But Faye left the club, as did Shippers. A youngster, yes, but didn't quite have what I wanted him to have in terms of the quality. And Martis left. And he has gone... he went. And the last one was Dionesi. And so those were the 4 that I got out of the club. I put a few down into the under 19s and the B side it is in Holland. So I put a few down there as well to clear up some space in the squad. We made a little bit of money, but not a lot. We bought some loan players in. The bottom 3 here are all players the club has bought for our younger side. So it's from Hilgers up to Mboyo. Those are the players that I've bought into the club. So let's start at the top. Mboyo, a little bit of experience. There's a couple of players like this that I felt that we needed. And he comes in and is going to be an off-the-bench striker. So he's not going to play as the first choice a lot. He's got no pace whatsoever, no stamina. So he's going to come on as an impact sub for the last 15 minutes of games. But he has got some very good attributes in terms of the mental stats and some very good technical stats as well. So that's why we brought him into the club, and hopefully he'll have some form of impact for us. The next one down is this guy, Reichel. And he comes in as an option off the bench again at 34 years old as the wing back on the left-hand side. And again, what we're looking for here is a few good attributes that can change something about the way that we play, not the complete package, because we're never going to find it. I think for 34, though, off the bench, his physicals are not too bad. Mentals are a little bit low. In terms of the technicals, crossing is good. Tackling's decent, long throws which will be helpful to us. So there's a couple of things in there that will be helpful, I think. Next one down is Hammerleinen, and he comes in as our first choice left-sided wing back. And so you can see that he's just got a few extra bits in terms of the attributes, I think, over Reichel. So he's going to play. But again, long throw is good. Crossing and tackling are both reasonable. A few gaps in the mentals. Physical's not too bad. He'll come in and play down that left-hand side. The next one is this guy, Ben Amar. And he'll come and play as an option in central defence. Good tackling, good heading, good determination. Few gaps elsewhere. Moroccan might take a little bit of time to settle properly, but he'll come in as an option in the central defence. And Reinders, so close to reindeers, isn't it? I might change that at some point and call him Rudolph or something. But he's an option in central midfield. Good passing, good technique, good vision, work rate, teamwork, pace, determination. There's some good attributes in there. Again, not the complete package, but hopefully will help us moving forward. De Braal, and he'll another central defensive option. Once I decided to play 3 at the back, we needed to bring some reinforcements in that position particularly. So he's another one that's coming in. He's a Dutch guy, so that hopefully helps him settle a little bit. And so he'll get a chance to play it and see how he goes. Hilgers, he's the other central defender that we brought in. Again, got some gaps, but this guy's only 19, so you expect him to have a few gaps, but I think he'll do okay in terms of providing cover for us when we need it. And that's what I bought into the club. What it means is that it's a completely new look setup from what they were doing before, but why wouldn't it be? They've been really struggling all season. If we go and have a look at the schedule that they've been on, I mean, this run of form for them post their friendlies, which started up pretty well. They got a good win to start the season. They picked another one up midway through, but that run of form is just dreadful. You can see that I've played 3 games. We had the friendly that they put in originally, which was against a Bundesliga side, and we really struggled. And to be honest, we hadn't really sorted out our team at that point either. And then I put 2 slightly easier games in, to be honest, just to get some morale, a little bit of momentum, some goals in us, and just see if we can find a way to up the mood a little bit. I think it managed it a bit, but it's only against weak opposition, so I'm not holding any sway to it really. And so we now step back into the Eredivisie really and try and find a way to get some good performances. What I would say, which is encouraging, is that once we get today's game out of the way, Feyenoord, which is going to be very hard, they sit in 4th place and we sit right at the bottom of the table. We then get Venlo, Den Haag and Zwolle. And if I'm pronouncing these wrongly, I'm so sorry, but this is not a league that I'm overly familiar with, so you'll have to bear with me. But if you look at those 3, Venlo, Den Haag and Zwolle, you can see that they are 3 that are in and around where we are. Zwolle and Haag are Den Haag are in the relegation zone with us, and Venlo just outside it. So there's some points to be made there, I hope, that might just get us an opportunity to be closer to the group of teams directly above us, because at the moment we're a little bit adrift. So yeah, this is what's coming up. Feyenoord first though, so the team is going to be a complete unknown to you and to me really, but it's Fabry in goal, Matthew, Benamar and De Braal in central defence, Sanchez, Brute and Reinders in central midfield, with Abels on the right and Hammerleinen on the left, with Veldvik and Thor up top, and pretty much everybody else is on the bench because we got a 12-person bench. There's a few that aren't. A couple that I'm still trying to get out of the club just because they don't fit into the system and the style. But yeah, that's the team for today. So let's get into this first match and see what happens. So in terms of team talk, we've just encouraged the players. We can't put any pressure on them today against Feyenoord, even though we're at home. The form has been so bad. So we just encouraged them to go out and see what happens. Give it a good go. This new formation, this new style of play, new players, all trying to bed in at once is going to prove tricky. But we've got to start somewhere, so it might as well be here. But it will be Feyenoord with the first opportunity in the rain to see if they can find a chance to see what our defence is like and how sound it is. They've worked it down the right hand side, but go back centrally, and we look at all those players behind the ball. That's what we need to do. We need a solid base to try and win that ball back from, and we don't do it, and it hits the woodwork and comes back out to Feyenoord. They get to that ball first, and then what's happened there? Raised flag for offside. That's okay. So the first opportunity that they have goes without a goal, which is really positive for us. Again, we set up with all of our players behind the ball. We're still playing those 2 front men that have got us an out ball if need be. Can we get a foot in early on and try and find a way to counter-attack on them? But so far, we're sitting off them enough, but we're not really challenging them to much. And I don't really know how that one went in, if I'm totally honest. Is that a goalkeeping error, or did he chip him, or what quite happened here? I'm not quite sure, but it goes past his defender and he just shoots over the top of the goalkeeper, and it's like the goalkeeper was about 3 foot tall and just decided he couldn't get up anywhere near it, and it goes over the top. and we go 1-0 down. And that kind of doesn't surprise me. I mean, I always thought this particular match would be a struggle, but what sort of a goal was that? Anyway, corner comes in, and again they have an attempt, and it goes over the bar on this occasion. Goalkeeper was flailing all over the place again. Haven't been able to improve the goalkeepers, which is a real problem because they're not that great. But there's so little out there that either I can afford, or two, that they will come to me. There's all sorts of issues in trying to find a way to improve this team currently. And the goalkeepers is a big issue, definitely. So we'll tell them that we're disappointed just because, you know, we can't let those sorts of performances slide. Chuck them back out there again and shout, demand more at them just to see if we can get anything out of this game. But again, it's Feyenoord putting us under the pressure, as you would expect them to, on the edge of the box. And they take it from left to right. A little bit of an issue there for my computer. Don't know why that was necessarily. It usually copes well. And again, they find it left. Cross goes into the far side, but we get it cleared, which is okay, but it still goes straight to them. We've got very little out ball in midfield. It's either going to have to be booted clear, or we're going to struggle. And that was quite close again, wasn't it, really? But we got some focus and motivation from the team talk, which from the shout that I gave, which is positive. So they're not overawed by it totally, which is good to see. We're just about getting in the point where I'll probably make a couple of changes. Let's go and see what we've got to work with here. We've got a lot on the bench. It can be a little bit confusing to figure out who can do what. Lukili, he'll come in for Reinders. Reinders, I'm not sure. So he'll come in and play that role. One of our front two, Thor, isn't doing so good, so we'll bring Mboyo on for him and give him a chance to have a run out up the top. And then we got a couple of midfield issues, haven't we? And right-sided issues. So I don't have a brilliant right-sided option just at the moment. So Sanchez will come off, and we're going to bring Duarte on. He's the one that plays in that particular role. So I'm just still getting my head around this team as much as you are. It's going to take us a little while, and just at the point when we do, it'll probably be the end of the season. But so far, a 1-0 loss isn't terrible, is it really? We've made it hard enough for them, whilst not really having too much of a chance ourselves. The match stats aren't terrible, though, which is encouraging to a point. And although we don't come away with any of the points today, which, you know, we need to pick up the points as much as we can, today was a bit of a free hit. And we'll be encouraging to them and just say it wasn't a bad performance, just because we need them to keep improving in their confidence. And it won't help us in terms of our league position, but it might just lift us a little bit to see that we can compete with the big boys in the division. So when in the next 3 games we come up against teams in and around us, surely we've got to find some points there. So I hope you'll join me for the next episode to see if we can. What I'm going to do is going to come back and play the Den Haag game. I'll update you on the Venlo. So we're going to play like we did in the previous version of Relegation Rescue, not Rolling in the R's. That's the other series. Oh dear, too many R's. I don't know. Anyway, what we're going to do is alternate the games. So it'll be Feyenoord, Den Haag, Vitesse, etc. And we'll just keep doing that all the way through the rest of the season. Sorry, my mind has gone to mush, trying to figure out a way in which we can find a way to improve this setup. I'm not sure that we have. This is a completely new type of formation to me, really. I don't normally play 3 at the back, but we've got to try something. So it might as well be this. And if I can't for half a season trial a new tactic for me and see whether I can get something out from it, I'm not sure when I'm ever going to. So bear with me. It'll be interesting. As I say, it's going to be very painful for me, I have no doubt, and probably quite entertaining for you just because of that. But that'll do it for today. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you very soon in the next episode. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do that. Click a like button on this particular episode, and that helps me get seen by lots of other people. But until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.